Okay, great.
First off, you knocked on the door like a squirrel. You wasn't even louder than a running water.
I didn't want to just barge into the door.
You're lucky I'm a drummer.
Why? Because you pay attention to the sounds?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you did, you would have heard it the first time.
No, it was. That was not your knock.
That was my knock.
That's was what not you heard. Your knock.
I don't know why you want me to be so aggressive when I feel like at this point, if you hear any outside noise, like it's gonna be me.
No, how you know? Maybe I'm cool with my neighbors.
All right, you right.
I'm not. I don't know not one of these motherfuckers.
I know my neighbors.
I don't really care to know them either. I gotta leave them all like a $5 gift card for Friendsgiving.
Why?
So they don't call the cops.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, last year I left bottles of wine.
For everybody on the block?
No, just like the immediate one downstairs. Old boy over there.
Across from there and then next to you?
And next door, yeah. Hey, smoke my shit. This is crazy. Oh. What is going on?
I brought something for you.
Okay, I'm not as upset no more.
I know, bitch.
That's not even funny. Oh, that leads actually to my banter question. Banter, all right. So, what do you think is a more harsh word? Bitch or nigga? You can't say yes or no to this. It's one or the other.
Tell me that because I think it's in the conversation that you're having and who you're having the conversation with. Because I've been in situations with my sisters where sometimes we're like, I don't like the way that they say bitch to me, but there's times where it'd be like, bitch, like there could be a playful way for you to say it, then there's a way that you're being direct and being disrespectful. And I feel like the same way with nigga. I think that there's some
they're both
be very
okay. Let's be intelligent individuals here. Okay, we all know that they're both very derogatory words, right? Let's get all this out the way. Bitch, the actual term for bitch is a female dog.
Yeah.
We understand that. We know that is used in derogatory word terms to describe a woman when she is overly expressive.
Okay.
Right? So we understand what the definition of bitch is. Nigga is a word that black people have stolen from the white man who chose to call us niggers, and we just added A to make it sound cooler. Now we use that as a term of endearment. But when said by the wrong individual, it is considered a very harsh word to say to an individual.
That's exactly what
With that said, which word do you believe is harsher?
I think it really depends on who.
So you think they're equally as harsh?
Yes.
Understandable.
Because they're also, one's depicted on gender and another is depicted just on your skin color.
For sure.
So one is, even if you call a man a bitch, you're calling him obviously a female. And if you're calling a woman a bitch, you're trying to disrespect her.
And that's why I think the word bitch is harsher.
I don't think so. I think that
because the only reason why I think it's harsher is because it can go across any gender, any race,
same
anything.
Thing. I think same thing with nigga.
I don't think so. If you call a white person nigga, it's a term of endearment. If a white person call a black person a nigga, it's derogatory.
I think it depends on how it's being perceived. Because if there has been people who have that's not of color that grown up in urban societies who use that as their form of interaction with individuals. And so it's not, again, it doesn't always, it's really just about your intentions in that conversation. Because I can have a conversation with a woman and she can call me a bitch and I don't think nothing of it. I can have another conversation with a woman and she call me a bitch and I think she's offending me.
I understand
and
that.
I think that when it comes to the word nigga, it's the same thing. Is that like, in the way that you phrase it, even if you add the A or you don't, it's your intentions on how you're addressing me. And sometimes there are people that are not of color that use it and think that it's okay because they're using the A. So I think there's two sides to that coin.
I think you are not hearing what I'm saying. When you can call a black person can call a white person nigga, right? Mm-hmm. And they could say it any which way, form, or whatever. A white person will not feel offended by being called a nigga ever.
I don't think that's true.
It is very true because you could substitute the word nigga for dude. Let me finish. If a black man is going at a white guy in a heated argument, he's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. the thing that's offending a black person is the tone. It's the shut the fuck up. It's not the nigga. If a white man says, hey, nigga, that is completely different.
No, it's not.
How is it not?
You're addressing me by an insult than my name or a person. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why nigga has become because we use it in raps and people are able to use that within each other. If at any point in time that any races outside use that derogatory word towards somebody, is definitely always going to be an offense. This is not just something that I'm trying to be funny.
I don't believe that is not true.
Okay.
No, I can't speak for everybody in the world, right? What we know and what we have seen, I've never seen an Indian person call another Indian nigga and they got offended. I never seen.
Have you seen them say it and that's okay? Like, my thing is like, why
we're talking about offense. We're talking about.
But why would they even say it? Because that's not.
I don't know. That's not what I'm arguing. That's not what I'm arguing.
But what I'm trying to explain to you is that, like, in the black culture, nigga is a way for us to take away from the ER and try to coin that for ourselves and make it more empowering.
It's a term of endearment.
So at that point, knowing that, but that's what we did for our culture.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody outside our culture is using it, why don't you think it's a derogatory word? Because
that's not what I said.
It was used that way, and we've tried to take the power from it. So if anybody from outside that culture, it's like me calling a black person a cracker. Like, I know that was used for Caucasians in order to cause offense to it. For me to say that and think it's okay for me to just, even in a playful way, always gonna come off offensive.
I didn't say any of that.
Okay. What are you saying?
I am saying that the term nigga is situational.
With black people?
No, with anybody.
Okay.
But it to me, in my opinion.
Why would two white people call each other niggas?
To be idiots.
They could be dudes, they could be guys, they could be
to be idiots. Like, because they feel like it's cool to say. Honestly, no white person's calling another white person nigga to be discriminatory toward them.
But what would be the purpose, Greg?
Because white people are stupid at times. You don't believe a frat house have two white people in there, they be like, yeah, my nigga, what's up, my nigga? Or they singing a rap song and they got nigga in it. Of course they saying nigga.
Yeah, because they're around the same individuals. It's not like there's a black person in there and that's okay.
And I that's not what I'm saying though.
So it sounds like it's not. I'm saying if for me, Greg, I'm putting in the perspective of the same way I said, like, me calling another black person. If I called you a cracker, Greg, you think that this is I'm trying to be funny? I would take it as being funny. I'm giving you it's a way of endearment.
No.
And in a sense, of course. So at this point, not only I'm calling you out of your name, I'm calling you out of a derogatory name of another culture.
You can't compare cracker and nigga though.
Are you serious?
White people have not adapted the word cracker as a term of endearment in their culture. That's what you're missing.
But nigga has.
Yes.
Okay.
You know that though.
I don't.
Black people have not adapted the word nigga as a term of endearment.
No, I didn't say black people. You said white people.
White people have not adapted the word cracker as a term.
Or nigga as a term of endearment. If I know any
Gigi,
white
stop. Wait, please, hold on.
No. If anybody,
you're not listening to me though.
All right.
You're really not.
Okay.
I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Black people have taken the word nigga and made it as a term of endearment.
Yes, with each other.
Right? With each other.
Yes.
I didn't say white people did that. Okay. That's not what I said.
But you did say that white people call each other nigga.
I said they probably do in some frat house because that's what they do blackface. Why wouldn't they do racist shit? Why wouldn't they say it because they can in front of each other?
What you're saying, that it's racist in that point in time. Like, you calling me a nigga is not a part of endearment. It's you actually calling me out.
They're not calling each other out.
Okay.
You think a white person, and you've been around white people
all the time. So how could you I don't allow people around me to just say the word nigga.
Of course not me either. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know what you're hearing from me, but I'm not saying anything that you're saying.
Okay, what are you saying?
What I am saying, when it comes, I'm gonna start with nigga. First off, nigga, like I said, black people adopted it term of endearment. White people have not done that. I'm saying white people say nigga to each other and they don't get offended by each other for saying nigga.
Because it's not a derogatory
thing. It's not a derogatory term for them.
Then that's what I'm trying to explain to you is that why don't you think it's still a sense of reference? Like it's not bro, where it's there's no gender to it.
And that's the thing. You keep moving it like I'm saying those things. I am not saying any of those things. I'm just saying that.
Why use those words knowing that it has offended? Like I'm just putting in this perspective.
Because we say things all the time that's offensive.
I think we're not.
I'm not gay, but I say no homo. That's offensive.
Even if because you were gay, you probably wouldn't say no homo.
That's my thing. That's my point. A white person will say nigga just to say the word. When they say it to each other, it has no ramifications. It means absolutely nothing to them.
But that's the problem.
As soon as and you're right, that is a problem. But that's not what the question was. The question was which term is more offensive to you. And I'm saying that it's bitch because when you say bitch, no matter what the situation is, if you want it to hurt, it will hurt. And nigga to me is not that because it only hurts black people when said to us in a certain manner.
I'm still gonna hold on to my sentiment. I get what you're saying, Greg, and I'm not gonna say that I don't agree with you, but I do believe that it doesn't matter what the word is, it's how it's being used in the conversation. And the idea that someone wants to use something that was derogatory and the only reason why we used it to empower ourselves is to make it something comfortable for us, but other people want to use it towards each other. It's like two white people calling each other crackers and it's supposed to be okay. Or two black people calling each other crackers and it's supposed to be okay. I'm getting to a place where I feel like as black individuals, we're so understanding of how people use our swag, our language creations, our dance moves, or anything like that, to then fully accommodate themselves and create it in a space where whatever they do is okay. But when we do it, it's gonna be offensive, and we've never been offensive. I feel like our culture in itself has always been inclusive and always wanting to involve people, and all the other cultures have tried to find ways to make us feel removed from it, or we need to work harder to be a part of it. And so when you are using derogatory words like nigga, even when it's with the A or the ER, it's just like, why do that when you already understood that that was a moment of oppression, and black people in itself had to use that in order to better empower ourselves. But that shouldn't be a word period, whether it's the A or ER, that you feel comfortable using. Because that means I could call everybody a cracker or whatever type of stereotype insult that I want to, just to show some type of endearment because that culture decided how they wanted to handle it. Just because we decided to handle it doesn't mean it's okay for you to do it. We figured it out, how we were able to move past the way that they were addressing us. There's no reason for you to feel comfortable enough outside of a song. A song, I get it. You lost in the lyrics, you love the beat, you in it. But to just use that in a manner where it's just like, that was oppressive to a group of people. And now you've used it in a way where it's just like, it don't mean nothing to me, so I could just say it. No. Remove that from your vocabulary. Use something else. No? Well, okay, yeah. Well, let's get to this topic. Let's start the episode because we're doing too much.
I thought that was going to be a light topic. I guess not.
No, it wasn't going to be. Because words have power, and how you do it means more. But even who says it means more.
Sure. All right.
What was that noise?
Well, I'm just saying that you have either underestimated the thought process of this woman.
You don't think I prepared?
This is too much.
You do this every week, bro.
I'm ready.
The gist of this conversation is that I'm right and y'all wrong. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Convo 167. I'm JustAConvo, Greg and Gigi. I'm the person that talk first. I am your lovely, gracious guy, this dude. And I'm joined here by my sister, who has really strong opinions.
Hi, everyone. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the shift in energy, but I don't got time for the bullshit no more. I am literally clouds, rainbows, and sunshine. But sometimes I gotta let it rain and I gotta let the storm come through because people think we playing, and I don't want to do this anymore.
She a black activist, y'all.
My birthday passed. It was alright. I'm in this new decade in my life where I genuinely believe in myself and my thoughts, and I don't want to ever allow anybody else to test me on it. Because if I feel some type of way, it's usually because of experiences and facts. It's not just because I took it out of the air and I feel a feeling. So stop playing with me. I am on this journey of really using my voice. So you guys are either going to hear me more or you're going to hear me more. That's where I'm at. I am no longer appeasing to the general public or the general consensus of what my thoughts are supposed to be. If I feel something different, I'm going to say it. I feel like I've always been that way, but I think that people didn't understand that I could be that way. Now you know. We're here now. Outside of that, fuck the hierarchy. Get your money. Greg, how are you?
I'm straight.
You got things on your mind, Greg. What's up?
You know, in my mind. No, I'm straight. No, life has its ups and downs, as anybody would imagine. But you know, just. Yeah, trying to focus on the positive. You know, just a conversation.
We on the same page. It's just like there's so much things to divulge, but sometimes without resolution, the divulging means nothing. So,
I mean, it's not even that. It's like there's resolution. For me, there's resolution in almost every problem that I have. Do I care for the resolution? Is the question.
I think that's a perfect way to put it. That's probably what I was trying to say, and I didn't say it. Because it's how you resolve it is how dictates the future, yes.
So that's all. I don't really care about a lot of things, but the things I do care about, they weigh. But yeah, I've honestly overall just been grinding and working. A little tired. Thought I was going to be in bed at a certain time tonight, but wrong.
Get over yourself.
Why would I do that? Great. But yeah, overall I'm straight. Can't complain about life, even though there's things to complain about.
Yo, I feel the same way. That's how I feel. And I just like me even putting it out to the masses only magnetizes it when I know that this too shall pass. So if I like,
it's just gonna come out in her topics, like when we say the word nigga.
Nah, I don't like to be called shorty or mommy though, for sure.
We know that.
Yeah, don't do that. Call me Gigi. Call me G. Shit, you call me her. Don't call me mommy or Gigi. I get turned off automatically. Just so you know. You ready to get into these topics, Greg?
Sure.
You and me.
You.
Because I want some bullshit. All right. My topic for today, this evening, this afternoon, anytime that you decide to tap into us at this point in time on this day, do you think that you can still love someone and treat them like poo-poo, a.k.a. shit?
Follow-up question first?
Sure.
When you say treat them like shit, is that from whose perspective?
Obviously the receiver, because obviously the issue is that people are still interacting with each other, and one person has a perception and there's another person that has a perception. So if the person feeling like they have shit, if you are knowing that you treat them like shit and you love them, that can be a topic of conversation. But in this topic is you are you and the person that you are with, and and the expectation of that you love them, because that has either been said or, understood. Okay. You treat them like shit.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this question two ways. Greg can't do that.
Greg can't do what?
That is not how Greg is built.
Greg doesn't do what?
I can't treat somebody like shit and say that I love them.
And just so we can have clarification, if someone ever decided that they would treat you like shit, what would you think what would be lacking? Not what you would do. But if someone says, yes, if someone, I'm clarifying it to you, okay. If someone is saying, like, I don't think that you're loving me right, or you are not being the person that I wanted to be, what do you think that would be? It doesn't always have to be something that you did. But if there was something lacking that a man, I want you to remove yourself, a man would do to make a woman feel that way.
Okay. I'm trying to follow. I really am. Like, you think I'm really trying to understand. You're throwing out a lot of scenarios. I'm trying to figure.
Really? I thought.
Yeah, I'm lost a little bit.
Okay.
Let me ask some questions to you first, because I want to answer you. I want to make sure I'm answering them correctly.
Okay.
Are you telling me, right? I'm in a relationship with someone, and the woman tells me that you treat me like shit.
Yes.
Even though I say I love you.
Yes.
And she is saying, and she's giving me ways of how I'm treating her like shit.
Yes.
Okay, now that we have that settled.
Yes.
What is your question?
How do you respond?
How do I respond to her?
Yes. And can you say, because the real question is, if you know what you're not doing now that someone is telling you, can you still say that you love them?
So to answer the first part, to how I would respond to her, it depends on how she's saying that I'm treating her like shit. Because I know Greg. I treat my person, I put them on a pedestal.
Understood, but this, and like I said, like I want you to kind of remove yourself, because I understand who you are.
No, that's what I'm going to answer in two ways.
Okay, everyone's evolution of how they've been loved and how they love people doesn't always correspond with how I want to be loved.
And I understand that.
Okay.
So to take it off of me, I would still want to know I need to know what the person is doing for you to say that I'm treating you like shit.
And now they gave you the examples.
Depending on what it is.
And now you know the examples and you haven't changed.
Then you can't love her. No, you can't.
Okay. So then
you can't love somebody.
We have the answer. Yeah.
Yeah. To have the knowledge that I'm making you feel bad, because now it becomes intentional. But if you just say I'm making you feel like shit without telling me why, or if I'm not aware that I'm treating you like shit from your vantage point, I think it is possible to still love someone, because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
I agree with you. But it's the moment that you have an understanding of what you may or may not be doing. Because sometimes what you're doing, it could be just a miscommunication of what you expected because of how you know how to love. So you adjust to what you want. But once you get to that point, and now we're in a place where all we can do is grow, but the pushback is, I'm telling you what's wrong and you don't want to do anything about it. Yeah. Is now telling me that you may love the idea of loving me, but you don't love me.
For sure.
Because I think that there are sacrifices some people need to make, and not even sacrifice is the wrong word. Compromises that people make when you do.
Nope.
It's compromises.
There's sacrifice and compromise.
I'm gonna say in the ideal relationship that I have is more compromise than sacrifice.
It's sacrifice and compromise. You're sacrificing something.
Because I think that but sacrificing to me is that there's always gonna be, and I'm just using the words, not what's happening. And sacrificing, I'm losing, someone's winning. And compromising, we both win. It may not be the same caliber, but we both gain something. And that's why I don't want to call it sacrificing. Because with compromising, I find a way to
make yourself feel better.
No, I think it's the idea that there are people that sacrifice and there's some people that compromise. Like if I know that I want to do this thing and now we uproot our life and it's just based off you, I've sacrificed that for you. But if I know that there's a place where let me finish my thought.
Put my hand up.
We've gotten to a place where I'm benefiting and you're benefiting. It doesn't matter who's benefiting more, but there's a win-win at some level. That's a compromise. Sacrifice means someone is losing all the time. Go, Greg.
In your moving situation, your partner says, I got this great opportunity to run this huge company, but we have to move somewhere. Mm-hmm. And you're like, but everything I love is right here in New Jersey. I'm my friends, my family. I don't want to go nowhere. Oh my God, please don't make me go. But he says, in order to get this opportunity, we have to leave the state of New Jersey. Already, if this is somebody that you love, right? Mm-hmm. You're about to sacrifice something. Because if you love him, you're going to move.
I'm not.
Now, let me finish.
Okay.
Because this is where I believe people use the word compromise to make themselves feel better. Because he said we need to move. He didn't say where we need to move. So to compromise, you could pick where we go.
Okay.
You still lost because you're leaving New Jersey. You just get to pick where y'all go now, and that was the compromise. There is sacrifice in compromising.
Like I said, in sacrificing is one-sided. In compromising, there's a benefit. So when you gave me those two scenarios, you put me in a position where I had no option, and then you gave me an option. And that's where compromise comes into play.
There's always an option, though.
No, not with sacrifice. Sacrifice is we need to do this. So we need to uproot this in order for us to maintain our lifestyle. And in order for this, we got to do this.
You can say
so
no.
that I don't have a choice. I
can say no.
And I say no, and then what? Now we don't have no money? I'm in a position where, that's why sacrifice. No, that's where sacrificing becoming an option. Because you can say no. But the idea is,
the fact that you can say no, you have a choice.
Everybody has a choice. But sacrificing puts you in a place where there isn't anything that benefits you except supporting whatever that is that's against you. Compromise means there is a real option. It can be a win-win.
You're losing something. You're not. It's not. I'm not saying you. There's. You act like I'm saying like you lose it all. No.
In sacrificing, you do. In compromising, you don't.
But in compromise, you still lose. You're losing something.
But there is a win-win in sacrificing. You don't win nothing.
You're just trying to. I think it's just a bandit to make yourself feel better.
No, I think that in sacrificing, there's no win mentality. You have settled or had to accept the defeat. And compromising, even if you may have lost, you still have won.
When you sacrifice,
because you have an option. How?
You can win in a sacrifice.
How? Tell me.
Because you're sacrificing this to make something over here better. I think you can definitely.
That's a compromise.
That's a sacrifice.
Okay.
You like to watch porn. Your husband says, I don't like it when you watch porn. If you watch porn, that's going to really ruin our sexual tensions in the bedroom. And you love when you guys have sex. Like, that is great for you. So you stop watching porn to make sure that sex over here is better. That's a sacrifice. You're sacrificing watching porn to make sure that you are good with your husband. You lost something and gained something better over here.
That was a compromise.
What compromise? You lost your porn.
No.
You can't watch porn no more.
A sacrifice for me in that scenario would be I stopped watching porn and you still don't want to have sex with me. But I've done it because I needed to be better. But it doesn't change anything.
That's a situation. That's
compromise
different.
Is that I end up I still get the glorification of nutting or releasing in having sex. That's a compromise. I stopped watching porn. I'm able to have more sex or be able to be in tune to sex. A sacrifice is I stopped watching porn and I still don't have sex.
That's not sacrifice. That's stupidity. Because
that's not stupid.
Because sacrifice. The only reason why you would sacrifice something when you think of the word sacrifice, a sacrificial lamb or a sacrifice to anything, is because you want to make something better. You believe that you're going to giving this up is going to make my situation better. That's the only reason why you would sacrifice something. No one sacrifices anything and think nothing good is going to come from it. You ever heard somebody, you're a spiritual person, you ever heard somebody say, let me sacrifice this with nothing in return? With hopes of nothing in return.
Someone with not the right path, yeah. I've seen that.
Really?
Yes, I've seen people sacrifice their integrity.
Even if you disagree with them. I'm not saying that they was right or wrong, but did they ever I'm going to sacrifice my integrity and get nothing in return for it. I'm just going to be the lowest of the low. Yeah. No, they are sacrificing their integrity for something.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. But just to circle off to the conversation until we jump into yours, is that I don't think that someone can tell you that they love you and not take in consideration how you feel and how you feel like in order for you to feel love or be loved, is this what I need? And they're not able to do that. And on the opposite side is because I understand how people have grown up, their experiences, and how they've perceived love, that unless they are honestly in tune with that aspect of learning how to love someone different than they know how to be loved, it's a double-edged sword. Because sometimes you think you're loving someone the best of your capabilities, and they still question you on it, because they didn't love that way. They didn't get that love that way. And they don't know how to receive it. And so they don't accept that as genuine love until they experience things that may have put them in predicaments where it may have questioned or allowed them to see what love is. But I think that if someone is articulating to you what they need, what they want, and what they are lacking from you, and you're still saying that you want to be here, it's one thing for someone to tell you that you want something, and you're like, well, yeah, that's not what I'm going to do, because this is what I can do, but this is not what I'm going to do. And you make those decisions. But if someone keeps reminding you that they can possibly be what you need, and they fail at it, I don't want to say that they don't care about you, but I am going to say that the love that you need is somewhere else, because they either don't want to take in consideration how they need to love you to be better because they're going through their own shit. And maybe when they're able to love themselves, they can love you.
What if the person tells them how they want to be loved, and they try, and the party tries, they keep trying, they keep trying. They always try. They always are going to show up and try. But they never hit the mark.
Okay, so that tells me more about the person than the person that's trying to love them. Because if I told you what I wanted and you've actually been proactive or even trying to do anything that I've asked you to do and I'm still unhappy, now I'm realizing that I still haven't healed. And although I have a perception of the love that I have, I still haven't healed from the love that was given to me, and I think I deserve bullshit.
So because the person is trying, he can love the other person.
I think if you're trying, I think there wouldn't be an issue. Because no one is, because I tell you, I'm not happy with this, it shouldn't be an overnight success. I think that's great with a robot, AI, but human nature is that they definitely have to evolve into that.
But what if they never do? What if they can't? What if they just can't, and they're trying, but they just can't?
You're trying and you can't?
Yeah.
That doesn't work, because at this point, if you're trying and you can't, then how are you trying? If you're not doing it at all, I guess that you can't do it. But if you're trying, you can't tell me that you're. If we're trying to evolve and every day you're getting better or being more attentive, where does the moment where you just can't do it? Because if your effort is showing me that you're aware of what my needs are, where does the default happen?
Just because it's like you could study for a test, no matter how hard you study, you still fail. You can still fail it. There's a possibility of failing.
Hasn't happened to me.
kudos to you, but it can happen.
Because if you understand the gist of what is that you're learning, you're gonna know something. You can't.
I think that is true in some cases.
So you're saying that I told you that you're not doing this and you're not doing that, and you do it, and then what is your?
Because I think you think it. Let me not put words in your mouth, but are you thinking of just like superficial things?
No, I'm talking about on the deepest level to the surface level.
Okay, so if we're talking about things on the deepest of levels, there's just certain things I think for me, right? And I notice about myself, I have a hard time recognizing other people's emotions, especially when like you're going through something. One, I work very hard at like being attentive and trying, but I know that's something I will never like. If somebody wanted to be overly emotional for them, yeah, wrong person. It's never going to happen. I will continue to tell you I'm trying, because I am trying. I'm trying to, every time you're on 10, to be at 10 with you. But that is just not who I am. And I'm going to continuously fail at that. But it doesn't mean I'm not trying to do it.
See, Greg, when you bring that up, I feel like I can see that on a general aspect, but I think when it's your person, it's a whole different level.
We are talking about with our person.
No, and I don't feel that way about you. I think that you are definitely on it, and I think that your emotional intelligence ends up being on 1,000, not even on 100 when it comes to your person, and you're aware
it does.
When they're not okay.
Yes.
So now when it's a point where you realize that you're not able to help, I can understand where you're at now, but you're never unaware of your person and their emotions and how their energy have changed. You're not oblivious to that.
But I am oblivious to how I'm reacting.
I think maybe in time. But initially, you're attentive like a motherfucker. You would have thought you were urgent care. The way that you
because I work hard at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like it doesn't happen initially. It may happen in time.
But I'm giving, like, personally speaking, yes, I am on more than I'm off. Absolutely. But even when I'm on, there is a part that I know that I can go even more, but I just don't, because I'm not that type of person. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it takes a certain person to be with me. It really does.
I think that way about me too now more than ever.
Like, I can't be with some
simple, but I'm not. I'm really complex.
Like, I've learned, I don't think I could deal with overly emotional people.
It's interesting because I feel like you need that sometimes.
Yeah, but now I've learned what it's like to not have it, and kind of like it a lot.
I think it kind of drove you a little bit crazy because at least like with them, it was easier for you to see the issue than to have someone that doesn't respond or react, and you now have to figure out
for sure.
Issue.
No, I think there is a healthy balance.
Okay.
That can still be achieved and that I'm still searching for. Mm-hmm. But I would say if the past relationship was on one side and that was the overly emotional person, mm-hmm. and where I'm at right now with someone is all the way over here, mm-hmm. and they lack emotion or not I'm saying lack emotion, but like aren't overly emotional, I think my slider will go more toward this end. And it's because I think I've had a lot of the overly emotional women. I attract overly emotional women. Because
you like to know how someone feels, especially Absolutely. About you. I think there's a point of just finding to make sure that, and it's not, I don't want to even call it validation, but just be able to understand what you're doing. And that's why I don't see you having someone that doesn't have an overstimulated emotion, because at that point, how do you navigate where you are in this relationship? Like, they're not giving you nothing, and I think that has fed you in a lot of your relationships.
Yes, but
you want me, so I'm gonna want you, and when you don't want me, how do I respond to you?
And that's the thing. But where I think not what I think. The reason why those situations were so much different is because there was I didn't love myself. Like I didn't. I was looking. I needed them to tell me that I'm not there anymore.
Understood.
I'm great. I know I'm great.
Say that.
You not wanting to be with me is your fault.
Say that.
So that's why I'm like, now I can deal without that.
Understood. Understand.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know this conversation was that long. Thank you, Greg. Because I was just like, I don't know. It was a topic I wrote down, and I was like, let's see how it goes. So, you ready to get into your topic, Greg?
Yep. Before I get into my topic, can you please, I just beg you to be in the moment. I beg of you. Because this has been on my mind for some time now. Are you going to try? Promise? All right. Boom. You are in a very, very happy and loving relationship. You and your person is A1. Y'all love each other. And y'all both decide we going to go to... What country you want to visit?
Ireland.
Y'all want to go to Ireland and we want to fuck a Irish bitch. Let me finish. Yeah. Stay in the moment. Yeah. Y'all both agree to this threesome.
Okay.
And it's fan-fucking-tastic.
Okay.
Couple weeks later, y'all find out the Irish bitch is pregnant. What do you want to... What happens?
She pregnant with our baby?
Y'all had a threesome, so clearly it's his.
I don't know that. She outside. She's out here giving it up.
Yo, how did I know? How did I really thought that you was going to really be here with me?
I'm here with you.
No, you just brought in a whole number... We don't know she's outside. This is I'm not gonna say she's a virgin. That wouldn't make sense either.
You know that's weird.
You are the only people she's had sex with in weeks.
That's what she said?
Yes, Gigi.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Okay, she got the DNA test and now the baby is his.
Okay.
What's happening here?
Obviously she knew this before. And she wanted to keep it. And I'm having a conversation like, what's going on?
You know what's going on. You agreed to the threesome.
Now, you miss your period as a woman. And you go take the test.
Yeah.
You going to the doctor is not always confirming your... Well, you can go to the doctor to confirm, but you already have an idea that you are.
She pregnant with his baby.
So now I'm having a conversation with y'all.
What do you want to happen?
I'm sorry for my quiet response because Greg didn't let me know how to think about this. So
do you see why?
I think if you would have gave me time, I would have been able to give you a quicker response.
I don't care about the quick response. I really want to know.
I think people that are listening to us does the quiet air.
They're on the edge of this. He's waiting for you to respond some kind of way.
So, are we married?
Yes. Y'all locked in.
I knew we weren't using condoms.
Yep.
And I have to accept the consequences that I allowed ourselves to be in.
Yes.
I will not be happy about it. My idea wouldn't be for her to want to keep it. But I'm also for, like, if you decide that that's what you want to do. But I've also welcomed that energy and consequence in my life because of what we embarked on.
That is mature as fuck.
No, yes, because in reality, I want to cut the bitch head off.
Thank you! Was that so hard to admit?
Because I understand the reality of the situation and what I would have to accept, but no. And now, Blue, you're never gonna have a threesome. Now you fucked that up. You fucked it up. We're never gonna do this. We had an opportunity, and now you fucked it up. When we tried to do, we thought about two niggas, we thought about two bitches. We're not doing none of them. Cause I'm not gonna have no other nigga baby, and you're not having no other. No, we're not doing it. It's over. It's gone now. Take it out the window. Shit.
Oh.
But in that scenario, I also heard.
I'm sorry if anybody out there was about to have a threesome and I fucked it
No, still do your thing because at the end of the day, you're safe. Yes, but I also understood in that situation that they used a condom when they had the threesome, and then because of the trust, they were alone again, and they happened to do it on their own without.
Nope, that's not what happened.
That's what I heard.
Well, that's not what happened. No, she got pregnant during that threesome. That was the only time she's ever had sex with y'all or him.
And that's why I don't like men finishing in other women.
But let me, so because there was no condom, he didn't even finish in her. He finished in you.
He didn't.
Pre-cum is a bitch.
He didn't finish in me.
Why not?
I obviously know that because somebody got pregnant.
You could get pregnant for pre-cum.
Okay. I think he had a moment. Remember, he had took some when it was like he was coming. He had held some of it and tried to finish off with somebody else. But the soldiers that was ready to march came out on the first round.
Oh, I would disagree with that.
Okay. Have you ever had a threesome before?
No.
The logic, you won't understand the logic then.
Guess not.
It's not that bad. It's just not. It just depends on who you are in that scenario. Uh-huh. And how you want to play it. I haven't, so far in my life, I haven't enjoyed a threesome really yet.
Okay.
I've welcomed the experience, but in the end, it was just like, for me. But I still feel like, no, I've never been with two dudes. It's always me, another woman.
Yeah, I think when there's two women, I don't see how, I mean, I could see how a woman could enjoy it, but it's really for the man.
I guess, but I never thought about that because of how I felt when I was going into it.
Like, I would imagine if it was the roles were reversed, I don't see how two dudes would enjoy a threesome with one chick.
Why not?
But the chick would probably enjoy the fuck out of that.
I think it really depends on the man. And, like, if he has feelings for her, I think that's where the issue lies. But...
Or I should say it's more likely that the woman is enjoying it more than the man is.
No, because I think that women can enjoy women if they're into women.
Yeah, I said more likely.
Okay.
You just don't be listening to the full thing. Okay, ready for the next part? You are in a threesome with two dudes.
Okay, I tried to have that so bad in my life and it didn't happen. I've never had that.
And you end up pregnant by the third party. What's happening?
Okay, so you want me to stay in a scenario that I will never be in?
Yes.
How old am I? I'm my age right now.
You know what? I'm not going to even do that to you. You just know of a situation that this has happened.
Okay.
What would you tell the girl to do?
How old are you? Because some women.
Oh, that's a good.
They may or may not be able to have children.
35.
Opportunity to.
That wasn't intentional.
Just stop. Don't say anything else anymore. I'm done. I'm going to say to you that if a woman has ever wanted to have children and hasn't been in the situation where they couldn't have children and they were able to do it and they want to have it, I really think it's based off the woman.
Okay.
Like, if that's what I want to do, I don't think it would be based off of having his support, because there are women that just want to have kids because they want to have kids. It doesn't matter if they in a relationship.
You think a couple could survive that?
Yes. I think that with the right communication, because especially when it comes to like threesomes, once you welcome someone into it, there's all these consequences that come into play.
For sure.
And if you are solid enough to understand that you're able to do that, I think you're able to get through anything that may partake in that scenario. And if you can't, then you should have never did it. Don't embark on something where you can't accept any consequences that may happen. Even if the idea is I'm wearing condoms all the time, but if that is the one thing that can break us, there's no reason to do it at all.
Understood. If I was in a threesome and I got another woman pregnant, that's not my partner. I'm Anthony Edwards. Send the video.
Are you nutting in them?
You can get pregnant for pre-cum.
So it doesn't change that you're the father. You are still the father just because you pre-cum. Like, you still did it.
I know. So sorry, I'm telling the bitch to send the video.
But she
doesn't. Oh, you don't understand the reference. Mm-mm. Oh, I'm telling her to terminate that shit.
I think, and that's what I'm saying is that, like, I think a man can have his thoughts, but it's still a woman's body.
You're right. I'm just telling you what I would suggest in that moment.
I can understand. Even as a woman on the other side, I would think that too.
I would be like, you need to go to the bathroom?
I think that as a woman.
And then trip as she fall down the stairs.
And it's different from men's because men don't have to carry a child.
For sure.
So for them to disconnect is easy when it's a moment.
Yep.
But I think as a woman, when you understand that you have decided to allow another woman in your space and be able to interact with your man, that there's a possibility that he may or may not come in you.
Yep.
We've changed the consequences, and now I need to accept that. Because anything can happen. We can still be protective, and there might be a hole in something could happen.
And need to accept it, and you don't need to accept those consequences.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't need to.
Yes, because you can't tell me how to respond to something that happened to me. You can't dictate because something happened with us, and
you can leave.
Leave.
Yeah.
I have a kid with you now.
No.
Are you talking about the other person?
Oh, I was still talking about me.
But you leaving contradicts the idea that you guys opened yourself up to this.
I think
you decided that we are now adding a third party.
She was cool with it until she wasn't.
And that's why I don't think you should embark in it at all. You can't say that it's okay. And by all means, I think that people's feelings can evolve, but you're also not going to put me in a position where you're open to it until there's consequences.
But I think
because the consequences, especially when you're in a relationship, that should have already been discussed.
You're right.
Let's think about the ups of this, the positive. Like, we could do our pros and cons list, but let's be realistic of the possibilities. What could happen, and how do we respond? And if that was never considered, it was set up for failure from the beginning.
I think even when that is considered, I think when it happens, it's still different. It's like you could drive on a simulator all this time while practicing for your driving exam, but when you get on the road, when you get behind the real wheel, it feels different.
I understand that.
And my thing is, like, you could talk about all the shit that could go wrong with this. Hey, one of us could get a STD, or somebody could get pregnant, or she could get attached and she could be some crazy. Like, a lot of shit could happen. We can think of all the scenarios in the world that can happen. Until it happens, it's still different. So now that the situation is here.
But if you understand that there's more pros than cons, then why embark on something like that? If there's any possibility,
if there's more cons than pros,
if there's more possibilities of all these things that could happen that can be a detriment to us, why are we doing this?
Because I think in life, there's more cons to anything that you decide to do.
I don't think so.
Absolutely. There is. You have a better chance of dying in a car accident by getting in the car, but you still choose to drive.
I think it's different when it comes to relationships, because it's provided to you, and the idea that if you ever had if the conscience of you even embarking on adding a third party can cause any type of doubt or issues, and that you want to just deal with it as it comes, it will come anyway. And if you're not able to handle it, then don't embark on it at all.
I think that's way too black and white, and I think that's too black and white for you. Like, people go into agreements all the time, thinking that they thought of everything that can go wrong.
I don't think it's about thinking about everything. I think it's just being able to have. I think what you're misconstruing with me, because I'm thinking about my ideal life, is that people are not thinking about the pros and cons. They're going into it and seeing if it works, and then deciding that if it doesn't work, we're going to tweak it. But then things have been damaged already. It's different when you're going into it being proactive and creating like even a business plan where you're just like, these are the pros, these are the cons, and we are working through it. We don't see a lot of issues with that because when shit happens, like I said, I'm gonna work through it because I've already understood what I've put myself into. But when you don't, you are just questioning the idea that this is just supposed to work, and now shit is happening, and I'm supposed to deal with it.
You've never seen a situation where two people think they got it all together, and then shit happens, and they realize that they don't have it all together?
Absolutely.
And I don't see how that's any different, how this could be any different of a situation.
Because I think that there's conversations that people are afraid to have.
I think that's true too, but you can't tell me that people, if you're saying that you've seen people say that they have it together because maybe they did have the conversation, the hard conversations, and that's why they feel like they got it together until shit hit the fan and they realize that they don't have it together no matter what past conversation that they had. It's just that when things are in your face, it's just different.
I agree with you. I think it's easier to say what you would do than when you would actually do it.
That's what I'm saying. So even in this whole threesome situation, I think you could feel in that moment. In that moment, or when you're deciding or planning to do it, you could believe that you and your partner are in a space where it don't matter what happened, we gonna be good.
No, I think that once you decide to have a threesome and there's a possibility and there's no protection, that is an exception to everybody in the room. This is the same way about STDs or anything like that. But if there's no protection, it doesn't matter how solidified we are. Anything after this, we can end up all having a bullshit or we can end up having a baby at the end. And once we decide there's no protection, that's an exception automatically. You can't say that it's not like we're having an open relationship and I know what you're doing. If we are both interacting with someone and we're not using protection, the exception to the rule from the moment that we started as adults, because we are able to consent, is that there is a possibility that I might get an STD or I might have children.
Yes.
That's a given when you have sex raw.
Absolutely.
So at that point, when
you said raw, sorry.
Yes, raw.
I was about to say raw.
So knowing that, it doesn't matter anything outside of that.
But my thing is, you act like you've never seen in your life where people can go into a situation with that understanding, shit gets in front of them, and all understanding goes out the window.
That's when you get logical and people lie about how they feel. I hear that, but I'm just telling you in how I see it. My response, like I said, is if I'm going to decide to have a threesome with my man, with another woman, unprotected.
Absolutely.
Anything that happens after that is nobody's fault except mine. Yeah, but it would be on me, and it definitely would be on him. It wouldn't be on the third party because we've decided to accept this person.
You're totally right.
Now, how I respond after that and everything like that, yes, it might be weird, but doesn't mean that I didn't understand what I put myself into.
You can understand.
Like people don't take accountability. Like, you've accepted, you picked A, so now you're in this scenario. You got to play it out now.
You can understand and not go with the understanding.
I agree with that. I've been there.
Like, that's all it is. It's like, we could go with this understanding all of it. We understand everything that we need to understand.
But I think that's a no-brainer.
The shit get in front of you and you like...
Yeah, but I think it'd be different if maybe like in the scenario where I said where they ended up having interaction where there was no condom, but you're saying like this was just their moment together. And it's just like if you decided that you're going to have sex with a third party and not use any protection, the idea of what result, it's like if you hit me and you don't know how I'm going to respond, you cannot be upset with any results that happen out of that except the fact that you were trying to get away unscathed. You already opened yourself to the idea. You could have got herpes. You could have got anything. Now, this woman just happened to get pregnant, meaning he chose to nut in her and not in you. And
that's not always the case.
Well, pre-cum is still cum.
Yeah, if you going raw in a threesome, it's bound that of course she got something in her.
It was enough to create a baby. Because if you finished to me and I didn't get pregnant, what happened? Oh, our cycles are different?
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
Could be.
I guess. I don't know.
Science is beautiful and harsh at times.
Right.
Just saying.
Sure.
Send a video. All right. Thank you if you're still here with us at the end of the show.
We've been going back and forth this whole time, y'all.
We end every show with a section called Do Dialogue. Do Dialogue is time we talk about something that we found interesting this week. What you got?
I got a lot of things, but I don't think I'm gonna share it till later. But I did watch the fight, and it was underwhelming. And I get it, but these are the situations where you understand, but you don't want to you understand, but you don't agree. Does that make sense to you, Greg?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I definitely expected more from Mike Tyson, but I do realize that the baton has been passed and they're trying to find a different avenue to promote people, just like the same way when it comes to the music industry, where they are not using these corporations to promote them. They are trying to do it on their own. So I get that sentiment, but I think for the people that have monetized and even appreciated our COVID era when we had like the verses, or we're able to really get nostalgia. You gave us nostalgia and you told us that this was a money grab, and I didn't like that, because I think with everything that's happening in our lives, it's like I think that America has been in a reality TV show for the past couple of years, and it really puts me in a perspective of like, we just want to see something genuine, something that's really happening in real time, not something that's scripted, not something that has been fed through, just something that is genuine. And I think that's why we kind of hold hard to these early 2000s and 90s music, because it felt like it was so much more genuine than what we have now. And I want to say that if you didn't watch the fight, you probably don't want to, and you probably Google or tweet or X whatever the results are, and that's probably the best way that you're going to experience that. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but I did hear that the women from you, Greg, that did a really good fight.
That fight was great. That was a good ass fight. You know that wasn't scripted.
Yes, and I think that might be something that I might even, if I do ever try to watch it, I probably kind of go back to that, but not to the main event at all, because it just didn't feel genuine. It just felt.
Yeah, Mike Tyson could have knocked that nigga out.
It didn't feel genuine.
And that scorecard was ridiculous. 270 to like what? Mike had 80. Like, dog, y'all bugging.
No, but then I also realized that when you watch it,
he was throwing more punches for sure.
Yes,
Jake was, but
yes, he was absolutely. That's what I was like. He wasn't throwing any punches. He was dodging more punches than he was throwing. So in reality, there was nothing for him. When he did land, it might be one or two, but he wasn't throwing anything. And if he was, they were short punches and close distances. He wasn't using his wingspan at all.
Nah. There's this video circulating of Mike catching him in the jaw.
Yeah, I remember that. And he ate it.
And no, that is that one, but there's another one where he like looks at Mike like, you need to calm down.
Well, he did stick his tongue out.
You're supposed to lose, nigga. Stop.
You hit me. It hurt.
That nigga talking about he want to fight Gervonta Davis next. That nigga gonna die.
I think it's okay because, like you said, everyone has a price, and we've seen it now. And I think.
I don't believe Floyd is going to take any amount of money to lose a fight. No.
But we said Gervonta. We didn't say Mayweather.
That's he's under Mayweather Productions. He's under Mayweather's boxing shit.
If the money is right, because it's not him. Remember that. Although I get,
I think it's a representation of him.
I don't, because he has lost before. Gervonta has lost before, so it doesn't. It's not like
Tank. He lost once. He lost once.
I feel like he has lost before, and I'm not saying that he lost a lot, but I'm saying that
Crawford has
you
a loss.
said it. You said it. Everybody has a price.
You're right. They do.
And everybody has an ego. And what I'm trying to explain to you is that although if it was Mayweather in itself, I'll be 10 toes down. He's not going to sit here and gather money and still lose to tarnish any of his legacy.
For sure.
But I can see that he could do it for someone else.
You know what? You're right. There is a price. There is a price that people would definitely probably succumb to. I will take this stance. The same way I talked about. There's a bigger upside to Jake Paul beating Mike Tyson than Mike Tyson beating Jake Paul. If he was to fight Tank, there's a bigger upside for Tank to beat him than it is for him to beat Tank. So I think for whatever reason, if you want to say that would be scripted, I think Tank will get the win. But I also just think Tank would knock that nigga out with some real shit. Like, Jake Paul is not a good boxer at all.
I think you have to take in consideration the stipulations that they placed before the fight even happens.
No, you're 1,000% right.
So although he can knock him out, there might be already stipulations that you can't.
Yeah, just like how it wasn't with the Mike Tyson fight. It was
exactly.
We're not here to hurt each other.
So at this point, it's just I feel like it's just building a resume.
That nigga was biting his glove the entire match.
Because he wanted to rip
He was going to kill him.
Yes. I felt that. But that's my new dialogue. I feel like I have more. I've been reading books too, but that's what has gotten my attention at this point. And at this point, I feel like Mike Tyson got some money. Jay got some money. But we didn't really get a good match for us to really appreciate the money that they got.
Yeah, I think this was a rollout for Mike Tyson though. I think because he got that Netflix special.
Understood. And I think that all played into once Jake brought him the proposition, and it was look at all the doors that is going to be open, and you can use.
I told you that last night.
Okay, let's go. What you got, Greg?
I would encourage all of you to create a daily mantra that you just recite over and over. Or upon your wake up. It really helps you get the day going.
I like that.
That's all I got.
Yes. Even if it's go be great. And even manifest things for yourself. Say things to yourself that you haven't obtained, that you want to obtain, and visualize that. It's yours. Do that. I love that. So, thank you, Greg. That's all you got?
Yep.
Thank you for making it this far in this episode. Greg and I want to let you know that it was hard to get here today, but we did it for y'all. And
was it?
It was me. It was hard for me. So, Greg, you want to let them know how they can find you and how they can find us?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. On X and IG at Greg Nelson26, and follow the pod on X and Instagram and TikTok. At JustAConvo_pod. Listen to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Acast, wherever you like to listen to your podcast.
Also, I mean, you can just find me here right now. As we progress, I'll be more receptive. I feel like 2025 is going to be different for me. But even December might be nice. Y'all might even see what my body look like on purpose on IG or Twitter, because I'm going to let y'all. But outside of that, you can find me. I keep trying to tell y'all to go on Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter. GCarly7, that's GQARLY and the number 7. And if you forgot today, if someone didn't remind you today, if you needed to be told today, if you wanted to curse somebody else today, I just want you to know that we want you to go be great. And it could go both ways, Greg. It can go both ways.
Make what go both ways?
You could tell somebody to fuck you and still tell them to go be great.
So you could tell somebody you love them and still treat them like shit?
Yes.
Huh? G-R-E.
Gigi.